Morning, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to Love 500, and welcome back to an unexpected new project. I wasn't intending to buy another car at the moment. I've got the BMW, as you can see behind me. I have got the white car still, which if you've seen Sunday's video, you know I've got a problem with the ABS. And I mentioned in that video a couple of times, I've got a new car. I bought this car, not on a whim. I was sort of looking and thought to myself, I better start adding some cars to my watch list. And this one came up that was on auction on Monday. And I thought, we'll have a little cheeky bid on this. And let me tell you what happened and let me show you the car. Let's go. Okay, so let me tell you about the car. So I was after a blue car because I've got two blue bumpers. One's a brand new bumper that I had freshly painted in the blue, another one's a second-hand one that's got DRLs and everything. So, and I've had those in the garage for some time, haven't needed them, so I thought I need to get myself a blue car. Now you know I like a colour therapy. This one was a colour therapy, so I thought let's have a bid. So it was at like £175 or something when I added it the day before. It gradually went up like they do. And it got to auction time and it had gone up to 900 and something. And then it went up to something like, I'll put it on the screen because I should have looked back, but I think I know what I paid for it. But it was something like £1,250, £1,300 maybe. Auction started, I watched it, no one bid. So I thought, let's have one bid, see what happens. Which I think it was either 1,300 or 1,350. As I say, I'll put it on the screen now, whatever it was. Went round. I think it did a bonus time, I can't remember. And then, bong, you won. No one bid. No one did any live bidding. It's a Cat S. Now, don't think, out of all the cars I've done, over all the years I've been doing this, I've ever been so lucky with this one. Now I have had a little look around inside. I've left it all so I can show you. Left all the rubbish and everything in it. I've had it since, when did it come? Today's Friday, I got it delivered on Wednesday, so I've had it a couple of days. Not touched it, not driven it, apart from just putting it here where it is now. But let's stop waffling, let's show you the car and we'll explain as we're going around what the damage is. Yeah, it's a Cat S. Just bear that in mind for a minute. It is a Cat S. Let me show you. Let's keep you in suspense no longer. Let's show you. You're going to like this. So, as you can see, it's a blue one. It's a 14 reg. It's come from Devon. I don't know why I tried saying like that it wasn't a Devon accent at all. It's it's from Devon. I bought it at the Bristol Copart, so it's cost me £220 to get it here. Front, no damage. No damage whatsoever. There's a little bit of paint peeling off just here, but we can soon sort that out. We'll just touch that up. That's no problem. So as I say, it is a colour therapy. So it's got the old colour therapy wheel trims on it, and they're all here. So as we go around it, we'll show you. So we've got a wheel trim there. We've just got a little bit of scuffing on it, nothing major. Tiny bit. Good tyres all round, I believe. It is still MOT'd, only for another month. But it is MOT'd. No damage there. All good. Start on the bonnet. No damage on the bonnet whatsoever. Not really a paint chip. Nothing. Headlights are good. DRLs are good. They almost look new actually. It is a 14 plate, so it's a little bit newer than some of the ones. We've got the white mirrors, which are dirty but good. So no damage there. Bit of a dirty mark there. No damage to the door. No damage to the all-important sill down there. As I said, I'll just show you the wheel. Yeah, wheel trim I showed you, didn't I? Okay, dirty, but a couple of little scuffs on it. We need to try and get some paint for these. Quarter panel, bit of paint transference or something there. That will just buff out, no problem at all. We have wheel trim, another good wheel trim. It's got a little bit of scratching on, so I would like to try and get some paint. If I can get some paint to match these, I'm going to have to do a bit of research, because I could let them go as they are, but I would like to try and touch them up if I can. We'll come back round to this side. I think you're probably guessing, you can tell now that the damage is round the back. Wheel trim again, a little bit of scuffing, so hopefully we might be able to get some paint. This wing's all good. This mirror is okay. Door, and again, all important seals. Where's that remote control? Do something about that plane. Yeah, all good down here. No damage whatsoever. We'll come on to the inside in a minute. Roof is all good. White aerial, well, it was white once upon a time. That needs a clean. I did that on Project Aussie. I took it off and I soaked it in G101, I think it was, and it came up nice and clean at the end of it. It's going to need a bit of a decontamination. It's got all this crap. All that is just a build-up of crap on the roof. So that decontamination will get rid of that. Should we come onto the damage? Let's show you the damage. There's your damage. So when I got this car, when I looked at this car online, it was like, I could see that it was like this. No lights, no bumper, which was good, because looking at the pictures in HD, you can see that, you can zoom in on it and you can see where the damage is. Now, you can see straight away that bottom bar is bent. Underneath, it's bent. It's not gone in. It's not gone into the back panel, but it's bent. And I've actually got one of those. I've got a red one, which I'm going to use. The fact that it's red, I'm not going to worry about the fact that it's red. You can't see it, can you? The bumper covers it up. So it cost me $24.95, I think. I've had it for some time. It was one on a previous car that I thought, it's still in the packaging. And I thought at the time that it was a front bar. It wasn't until I started to unpack it, I saw it was red. Then I realised that it was actually a rear bar. And I bought it for a car that I didn't need it for in the end. So I'm going to use that. So I'm not going to bother painting it, it's no need. The telltale sign that it was all good, well, partially all good, was that both brackets and the middle bracket looked untouched. No cracks in them, the whole thing's there, and as you can see they are. So I thought, why are the lights missing? So I thought to myself, probably what's happened is it's gone to a garage, they've taken the bumper off to inspect it, and of course you need to take the lights out to inspect it. And then the insurance have Cat S'd it. Cat S. I need to get down on my knees and show you a bit more, but it is very dirty, so it needs a good clean just to make sure and reveal. But I've had a quick look in the boot and I can't see any damage now. So I'll get down on my knees and show you in a minute. So I opened the boot up, and as I opened the boot up, see, I wasn't here when this was delivered, so I hadn't seen it. It'd just been parked up. I'd gone out that night and had a quick look. So as soon as I came to the car, lifted up the boot, I could see what was inside, which is not inside anymore, but lying along the length of the car was the rear bumper. And I thought, oh, well, at least we can see where the damage was. And I bought 2 cans of blue paint and some clear coat, because my intention was, I've got a white bumper in the garage which is got cracked. It's in white and it's got cracked clear coat. And I thought to myself, I'll use that and I'll paint it. That was my intention. Opened the boot up, and what did I find inside? All wrapped up is the rear lights. The rear lights are all perfect, there's nothing wrong with them. Dirty, but I don't know if they work, but they're all perfect. Now we got a bag here saying bumper, so we've got the bumper bolts. It says headlight, but the headlight bolts are all there, so I don't really know why we've got headlight bolts. Oh, they're not headlight, yeah, of course. It says headlight, but they're the rear light bulbs. Bolts, not bulbs. Let me show you the bumper, so we can see the damage. As you can see, hardly anything. So we have a little bit of a scratch here, a little bit of scratching here, generally a few scratches on it. We've got that there, which is not really scratched, so there is a bit of something's going on there. Not quite sure what, but we'll sort that out. We'll sand that down. Little bit of scratch there. There's a few scuffs here and there, and the black plastic bit has popped out, and this bit has cracked here. Now, as far as I will know, I reckon I can glue that back together, because once you push it together like that, you can barely even see the crack. If I can glue that and tape it up until it goes off, once that's pushed back into position, you won't even see it. So I was gonna, I mean, we've lost a tab here, but we can just glue it back. Not a problem. Don't need these. I can pick these up for 25 quid or thereabouts. But I thought to myself, do really need to. So I'm going to take the thing entirely off and then glue it and repair this bumper. Hello, mate.
Hello, mate.
So just saying hello to the postman then. Yeah, so this is just going to repair, and I won't need to paint the whole thing. I'll just paint bits of it. Hopefully the paint will match. If not, you know, it might come to it that I do paint the whole thing, but obviously we want it to match, but of course we want it to match the car. I went for the standard shade of paint. I did say to Alison at Paints For You that when I did Project Aussie, it looked a little bit on the light side. So she said, well, you had standard then, and she said there isn't really a bluer as such. I can't remember how she described it now. Fresher. Yeah, it wasn't like the white. You know, the whites have a bit of yellow in and a bit of black, which makes it not quite so white. But these don't. These are what she refers to as it was fresher and brighter or something like that. And I said, you know what? Let's just go for the standard, because there's nothing saying that this one is going to be the same as Project Aussie was. It could be different, couldn't it? So I've gone for the standard. So let's just hope it matches. Once it's all polished up, hopefully it'll all blend in anyway. But let me just get me pad out and we'll show you a bit more underneath. So not underneath, on the back rather. But yeah, good bumper. I wasn't expecting to get that. I thought that was going to be obliterated, and it was completely missing. So of course the car was on the drive in front of the house when it was arrived. No lights, no bumper, filthy dirty at the back. As soon as I got home from work, I put the lights on, I put the bumper on, ba-doing, like a new car again. I've only taken them off for your benefit, just to show you. But yeah, let's show you a bit closer up on the back. Right, let's get down on my hands and knees. So, as you can probably see here, so this has obviously come from underneath because it's pushed it up. So whether it's reversed into something or something has just hooked underneath and pushed that, but it's not pushed it in, it's just pushed it, well, it pushed it in a little bit, but only at the bottom. And it's nowhere near the back. Now these bumper brackets down here, excuse my camera work, these have been pushed in, but you can just there you go, fixed. There you go, fixed. Now, I'm not sure whether that's dented there. I think it is very, 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 very slightly. And possibly, no, I'm not sure it is, you know. Now, something has hit that, I think. Just tiny bit. Very, very tiny bit. But that's not it. That's not being pushed in there. That is not. That's the shape of it. That's not been pushed in because it's identical the other side. That's not been pushed in. But I think it's just caught it. And there's nothing, literally nothing underneath at all. So, I wonder if that's where the bumper was pushed into the exhaust pipe. Maybe, possibly. Don't know. That looks like plastic. So if that was hot, that would have melted the plastic. I'll have to have a look on the back of the bumper. That could be the underside of the bumper, couldn't it? Where it's, because it's hot, it's stuck to it when it's hit it. So this obviously needs changing. But I need to clean it up properly. But this is all intact. And if you look in here, I mean, I'll have to get the spare wheel out and have a proper look. But as far as I can see, there's nothing being pushed in here at all. Absolutely nothing. So I don't think although it has potentially just about clipped it, it's not pushed it in as such. That's it. That's the damage. How lucky am I? Cat S. Which it is, I suppose, you know, the fact that it's touched that, I mean, it's not structural, of course, but the fact that it's touched that means it's a Cat S. So what they probably said, it's gone to the garage and said, yeah, the bar's gone and it's just touched it there. Cat S, straight away, Cat S. Which is mental. I mean, I understand why. But if you were the owner of this car, you know, wouldn't you have thought the garage had said to them, look, the insurance company are going to write this off as a Cat S. Why don't you buy it back? We'll fix it for you. We'll get either repair that bumper or get a new bumper for you. You know, even as a garage, you know, we can repair that for you, 500 quid. We get a new bar, Even if we bought a new bar, get a new bumper, paint it, you know, 500 quid. Or she could have done it herself and got it sorted out. I say she because it is a girl. That's just mad, isn't it? What a waste of a car. So it's a good job there were people like me around who bring them back to life. So we will clean this up at the back and have another look. But yeah, that's the damage. Mental, isn't it? I suppose we ought to show you on the inside, haven't we? Let's go. Let's show you on the inside. So the car has done 52,009 miles. Just flashed off the screen there. We only have one key and it is only a spare, unfortunately. So I'm going to have to spend, what is it, £140 is it on a remote key, which isn't the end of the world. And at the end of the day, I'm going to have to spend very, very little on this car. But at least then it will come with 2 keys. Now we do have books, and I got really excited. These are all on the floor, these books. I've tidied them up. Unfortunately, the books are all there except for the service history. So no service history at all. We've got the stereo code thing and what have you. Got the CD. Does anyone ever look at that? I have that own handbook. I'll have a look at one of those one day. And we've got the main book, no service book. It's got plates of the suppliers on the front, so I am going to send off for the logbook on this one, which I always do if I don't have a service history, because without that I can't interrogate the MOT history to find out where they were MOT'd. Without that documentation, you know, I haven't got service history. If I do that, get the MOT history, then we can get an MOT history thing filled in. So yeah, colour therapy. So we got the MP3 stereo. We do not have steering controls. We do have aircon. We don't have a glass roof, which isn't the end of the world. I like these colour therapies. They are my favourite, I have to say. I think they look nice. When I've finished with these cars, I mean the other blue ones I've done, they look so nice when they're finished and clean with either freshly painted or cleaned up wheel trims. I do actually like it when I paint the wheel trims because they're a nice bright white rather than the cream as they are now. But it's a lot of effort doing it and it's unnecessary on this one, that's for sure. So I just want to try and get a cream colour that I can match. I'm going to give it a go and see what I can find. I might even pop down to Halfords and just take one with me and have a look at some of the white colours down there and see if I can find a cream. We don't have a free CD. Let me just start her up. Bear with me a second. I just wanted to release the steering. So yeah, 52,000 miles, boot open. Yeah, we know. Check daytime running lights. So one of the bulbs has gone. Start her up. Starts straight away. No warning lights except for the triangle. That's because we've got a DRL not working. Stereo, I might have to cut this out if there's music playing, which I think there might be. Turn it down. So yeah, stereo all works nice. There is no free CD, which is very disappointed, but then again it would only probably be although I've had a Stormzy one once. That was awful. I don't mind a bit of commercial Stormzy, but when you buy his CD or listen to his CD, it was a bit too heavy Grimes sort of crap for me. And this girl listens to Represent 107.3 in it. So it's that type of music. So not my cup of tea at all, I have to say. But it works. This is knackered. She's probably had a phone holder on this, which has destroyed it. So we'll have to change that. I'm not sure whether I've got a spare or not. I think I have, based on one of the stereos that I changed on here and took the vents out. So I might have one. I know I've got some bits. So whether I've got enough bits that I can fix this or not, I don't know. But we'll cross that bridge as and when. Aircon. I haven't tried the aircon actually. Let's turn it down cold. Put it onto fresh air. Put it onto blowing out of there. Blowing out of there. Oh, oops, if you turn it on. Come on, we want nice, yes, nice and cold, lovely. Yep, so the aircon works, so we don't have to get that recharged. That's good. Yeah, so nothing to write home about in here. Seats-wise, they're going to need a clean, but they're not that bad. But I will give them a clean. I'm going to take them out because the carpet's a little bit dirty, so we'll take them out and clean them. All in good condition in here. There's let's just get out. There's loads of rubbish in here and what have you as usual. but there's no burns or anything. I don't think it's been a smoker's car. It never smells. I very rarely do smell of smoke, actually. It's very rarely you get one that's been smoked in. I've got a couple of 3D mister pads, which is handy. Keep them. There's a roll of plastic bags there, like nappy sacks type things. We'll keep those. They're always handy. These blue mats, I'm going to keep those as well. I normally put fresh mats in, but I'm going to jet wash them and wet clean them when I do the seats. There's nothing wrong with them. They're just a bit grubby, so we'll keep those. Let's go around the other side. Filthy dirty in there. So on here we got, let's put that back in there. So it's been in a garage doing something, hasn't it? Whether this was the garage it went to when it was written off, I don't know, probably. All these, we'll get rid of this. What we got here? Wide Awake Sapphire body fragrance. Oh, squirt it on there and have a sniff. Oh, it's quite nice actually. Keep that. We do have some medical stuff here for the. I was going to say the victim. Some medical stuff of the previous owner. Oh look, Porsche's 18th birthday party, Friday the 14th of July. Damn, I missed it. Costa coffee, the usual. A nice mask, couple of masks, 3 masks. I don't know what that is. Bit of bondage by the looks of it. Whatever floats your boat. That's it. Basically, that's all that's in here. Looked under the seat. There's nothing in there. We don't have a key for the wheels because there aren't locking wheel nuts. Yeah, it's just grubby, just a bit on the grubby side. It's not too bad, but you know, down there is a bit nasty, a bit rusty. Why do these seat rails always go blimmin' rusty? Bloody cars. So yeah, seats need to come out, and that needs a damn good clean. But showing back the service book, you would have thought, in theory, you would have thought the service book would be in here, and that wouldn't. I know some people keep everything. Actually, I'll tell you what I haven't done. I haven't put my hand down there, just in case it was there. No, it's not. Yeah, it's not in the little drop-down thing. I don't think it would fit in there anyway. But no, I've had a search through it. It's not in the car at all, which is a shame. I haven't checked the oil or anything, but I mean, you're probably looking at this car and thinking, Paul, you have had such a result. You are such a hero, and I know. But it gets better. Let me get the bonnet open, and I'll show you why it gets better. I cannot believe my luck with this car. Let's bloody planes. Let's pop the bonnet and I'll show you. I'll stop the engine as well, but I'll show you. Right, there's a couple of things to show you under here. First of all, we have, I was going to say new battery, not new, but relatively not the original battery. So the battery's been replaced with the same batteries that I buy, the X-Side ones, which are decent batteries. We do have a screw missing there. I'm sure I've got some of those, so I can secure that. That's intact for once. It's not damaged at the front, is it? Now the best bit of this is the sticker covering the cam belt bolt is gone, and as you can see from that aux belt, that is brand spanking new. There is not a mark. That is black. That is not gone off in colour. That is new. So the cam belt, without a shred of a doubt, has been done. The fact, not just that that's ripped off at the top, it's been completely removed, and it's got a new aux belt. So that tells me that it's had a brand new cam belt, water pump, probably water pump as well, and aux belt. So that's a saving £205 there straight away. Whether I do this or the mechanic does it. Now, as you know, I still haven't done one, and I am going to do one. And again, I'd intended to do it on this car, but I already have someone that's waiting for this car. And as I've mentioned before, well, I mean, it doesn't need doing on this car anyway, but when it does need doing, I need to be able to take my time and not have someone that is physically waiting for the car. Someone is physically waiting for this car, and they're really excited. And I've said to them, look, I'll send you some pictures by the end of the week, which is today. So I've got to get it cleaned up, see if I can get that bumper done, and then I can send them some pictures. Not going to take me very long to do this car at all. I don't know if it needs a service. I haven't checked the oil yet. We'll check that in a minute, actually. And we'll check the coolant as well. Haven't looked at the... Trying to see the... We can see the oil filter. It doesn't look very old. but we'll probably give it a service anyway. But you know, if we can track down the service history, devoncarservices.co.uk, so we'll have a look at that. They're going to be the people who sold it last, I imagine. I think it last sold March, was it March? Don't quote me on this, but I think it was March 2021. I think it was. I think that was the last time the V5 was issued. So this person's owned it for 2.5 years. So I imagine they're the ones who've had the cam belt done. And I reckon they've had it serviced. For someone that's had the cam belt done, I think we have to assume it's probably been serviced as well regularly. But we'll check the oil in a minute. That's it, pretty much. Engine bay needs clean, as they always do. It's filthy, as they always are. Obviously, we do have a DRL out, which we'll have to sort out. Tyres, I think the tyres are all okay. I think. Obviously, we're going to get it MOT'd, so we will get them all off. We'll check the brakes. I haven't looked at the brakes, obviously. I haven't looked at anything yet. But we'll get it up in the air. We'll get those front wheels off. We'll check the brakes. Check the tyres. Give it all a good clean under there. Give the brakes a clean. If they don't need doing, we'll give them a check. I believe that a bottom arm has been done. Can't remember which side. It was an MOT advisory that the bottom arm was knackered. And the two MOTs after that, there was no mention of it, so we have to assume that's probably been done. Can't remember which side it was. The last MOT did have an advisory on rear shock mounts. Only an advisory, and it just said they were worn but not causing issues. I am going to replace them. They are so easy to do. I'm going to replace them. Springs, when I was down on my hands and knees, then having a look underneath a few minutes ago, they looked okay, the springs. So I'm going to leave the springs, but I'll probably give them a bit of a clean up, give them a brush and what have you. Yeah, it all looks good. It all looks very, very good. So I reckon, I mean, it's lunchtime now and I've not started this yet, apart from the walk around. But I reckon a couple of full days and this will be done. This afternoon I'm going to change the bar, clean it up at the back, change the bar, and I'm going to see if I can get this done and get it back on. We are missing a thing, and I may actually have one of those, potentially in colour. If not, I'll paint one. But I've definitely got back ones. If I've got one in colour, even better. So that's it, I think. That is the walk around on the new car. I haven't got a name for it yet. I'll have to think about that. But what do you think? Let me know. So we'll just quickly set you up on a tripod and we'll have a look at the oil, see what the oil's like. I'm hoping it's brand new, so I don't have to do that either. But we'll let's set you up and we'll take a quick look, and then we'll wrap this one up. Right, let's have a look. It's a little bit of black, but it's still got some oil colour in it. You know what? I don't think it needs it. Yeah, it's quite oil coloured. It's a tiny bit. Yeah, that's not been in long. It does need a top up, but I don't think there's any need to service it. I think it's unnecessary to service it, which is great. You know, you've got to go by. I always go by the oil colour and the state of the filter. I might do it. We'll see. We'll see. I might do it, but it just seemed, you know, it's expense that's unnecessary, and that means I can keep the price down to the person I sell it to, because, you know, I always take into account, I don't have a fixed price. I take into account the work that I've done on it. You know, if I have to buy a new battery, for instance, then I have to take that into account for £100 or whatever it is when I price it up to sell it. And I, you know, as you know, I do sell these cheap, but I like to price them accordingly. I like to do people a favour. But, you know, the fact that the cam belt's not got to be done is a result straight away. It is a 14 plate with 50,000 miles, so, you know, top dollar, I would say, for this car. But yeah, I don't think I need to service it. So what do you think? I reckon I've been lucky on this one. You know, I got the problem with the ABS on the other car, which is, I don't know why, but the consolation is this is going to be a really, really quick and easy job to fix. I hope by the end of today, as I said, to get the bumper done and to get that back. That won't take long to get that off and get the new one on, and clean it up at the back, and then put the lights back in, put the bumper on, or the other way around, bumper on, lights in, and then that'll be done. Hopefully that'll be by the end of the day. I've got maybe 3 or 4 hours, I suppose, this afternoon to get it done. So that's it for now. As always, thanks for watching. If you're not a subscriber, click on the button, subscribe to the channel, give us a thumbs up. Please tell me what you think of this. I reckon I've really lucked out. But until the next one, when you see it being repaired, until then, don't forget, take care, stay safe, and we'll see you soon.